Did you all know that long ago in the Celtic lands, luck was so plentiful and free, it was like sunshine. You could just reach out and grab it if you needed a little bit of it. And this was largely due to the wee folk, the fairy. They make luck the way cows make milk. It's true. But then the big folk came along and they started to kind of absorb all the luck. It just clung to them like dew everywhere they walked. And let me tell you, the king of the leprechauns was most displeased. We can't be having all of the big people soaking up all of our luck. And so he had all of the fairy and all the wee folk weave magic nets out of spun gold, and he sent them out on Midsummer Night's Eve when the moon was high and full and magic was at its height, and he had them sweep up all of the fairy magic and put it in an oaken chest so that he could be the one to decide where and when a person got their luck. But the fairy folk did too good a job. They didn't just sweep up all of the fairy luck. They swept up all the luck there was in the land. Very dark times came upon the people. The chickens wouldn't give their eggs, the cows couldn't let down their milk, and the potatoes just rotted in the ground. No one had any luck at all. But there was a very clever woman named Fiona who lived at that time. And she knew that the luck problem had to do with the king of the leprechauns. What else could it be but getting luck back from a leprechaun? It's like squeezing water out of a rock. Not that it can't be done, mind you, but it usually requires more strength than you have at hand. So she thought on the problem, and she took her last coins and she bought a cow and some chickens and a plot of land. And every morning and evening, she took her cow into the milking barn, and when she came back out, she had buckets sloshing over with white liquid. Oh, and to anyone who asked, Fiona would just reply, "She's quite a nice cow, I'm lucky to have her. If you pay attention now, we might be lucky later." Well, that started some rumors. People thought, no one has any luck at all, but Fiona has bucket loads of it. And then, every day she'd go into her chicken coop with her covered baskets. And when she came back out, she had mounds of round oval shapes underneath the covers. Well, to all of her neighbors, Fiona would just say, "It's lucky I am, the hens are content. If we're lucky, then you'll see what I meant." Well, it started more rumors. They started to grow. While other people had no luck at all, Fiona had basket loads of it. And then she went into her garden with a big wheelbarrow, and she dug up all of these dirt-covered rounds and filled the wheelbarrow to the very top. And to anyone and all who would listen, she would sing, "It's not a good year for potatoes, they're bad. If we're lucky then, you'll see what I have." Well, that started the rumors just flying, and they reached the ear of the king of the leprechauns, and he didn't like all of this unexpected luck. So one day, when Fiona was crossing the meadow, she was surrounded by little people who took the hem of her skirt and twirled her around and around until the horizon went blurry. And when it came into focus again, she was under the ground in the throne room of the king of the leprechauns himself. Well, she bowed most politely, but she kept her eye out for where he might be keeping all the luck. And she spied the oaken chest glowing in the corner, and she felt certain that that was where the luck was. She stood up and said most politely, "And what would you be wanting with me then?" And the king of the leprechauns said, "Oh, you know very well what I'm wanting with you. Where did you get all of this unexpected luck? Who's been giving it to you, and why? Look, oh, I like that. Here I am, I've been kidnapped by the king of the leprechauns. If that's luck, you're welcome to it." "Oh, don't you lie to me, missy. We leprechauns have ways of testing for luck. And if I find you've been lying, I will claim all of your luck for forfeit. Oh, and don't I know the rules? If you test me, it's the loser who must pay the forfeit. And so I claim a wish from you." Well, that took the king of the leprechauns back a bit, but then he raised his eyebrows shrewdly and said, "Very well, but it can only be equal to the amount of luck you have left." Now, Fiona knew she was being cheated, but a woman of wit can turn even a leprechaun's cleverness against him. So she agreed, hiding a smile. "Bring out the low table," said the king of the leprechauns. And they brought a low table with shiny shells, 1, 2, 3, and under it they put a gold coin. And then he took the shells and he moved them right, left, and up and down so fast it was a blur and no human could possibly see it. Now listen, if you had good luck, you would be able to find the gold coin every single time. And even if you only had a wee bit of luck, like would fit in the tip of your little finger, you could find it 2 times out of 3. But Fiona, no matter how many times she tried, couldn't find the gold coin at all. "Oh, you must be cheating, I'm sure of it. Bring out the harp." Now, leprechaun musical instruments are played mostly by luck. If you put your fingers near the strings and you had good luck, it would play the most glorious sound. And even if you only had a wee bit of luck, you could pluck out a tune or two. But in Fiona's hands, the strings went completely out of tune and it jangled and made the most awful noise. "Oh, this is terrible," said the king of the leprechauns. "Bring out the chess set." Now, no one could hope to beat the king of the leprechauns at leprechaun chess, for he's steeped in luck. But if you had good luck, you could keep him going for a few days. Even if you only had a wee bit of luck, you'd be able to keep him going for an hour or 2. But Fiona, even though the king of the leprechauns tried over and over to lose to her, she always lost within 2 moves. "Oh, this is terrible. It's as though you have no luck at all." "And what is it I've been telling you then?" "Oh, but what about the buckets and the baskets and the wheelbarrow?" "Well, if I want to fill my buckets with white paint, and my baskets with pine cones, and my wheelbarrow with dirt-covered rocks, what business is it of yours?" Oh, the king of the leprechauns knew he had been fooled, and he wasn't happy. But then he remembered. "But you've agreed. You can only have a wish that's equal to the amount of luck you have, and you have no luck at all." "I can still wish for nothing then?" "Yes. Then I wish for a hole. For a hole is nothing. And I wish for it to be in that oaken chest lid over there, forever." Well, a wish honorably earned is a very powerful thing. The hole appeared almost at once, and the luck started to seep back out into the Celtic lands again. "Oh!" cried the king of the leprechauns, and with a wave of his hand, he sent Fiona back into the meadow from which she had come. From that day to this, all of the Celtic lands have had a bit more luck than the rest of the world.